Okay, so we've got Derek Markey with us all the way from the good old US of A. Derek, introduce yourself there to us, please.
Hello, I am a recent completion of the 30-day challenge with Kevin O'Connor and excited to share my results and my story and just my new way of life.
Excellent. Well, Derek, first things first. I guess really, Derek, your story is very, obviously I've been speaking to you outside of this, but your story is very familiar with a lot of guys and girls out there. So kind of give us a bit of a background, what age are you in and,
Yeah.
what's your day-to-day like? You're stuck at a desk all day, that type of stuff, family, kids, and so on.
Yeah. So I will be 48 years young this year. And, really it's just the day-to-day grind. I own a couple of businesses. If the business doesn't make money, I don't make money. And I always pay my employees first before I get paid. So there's a lot of stress as a small business owner, number one. Number two is I have four children under the age of 12, and obviously they need food and clothing. So the business has to make money. More importantly, to keep mama happy, who's a stay-at-home mom, and at the same time pay the bills. With that being said, prior to our fourth child being born, my wife came down with breast cancer. So she was diagnosed with breast cancer while she was pregnant. And I had lost my father and both grandfathers to cancer, so I knew this wasn't going to end well. Make a long story short, the baby now is 6 years old. The baby's fine. My beautiful wife, is fine. She's been cancer-free for 5 years. But going through that process just created a lot of stress. Number one, as a small business owner. Number two, for the family. And that stress was taken out in different ways. Me eating one meal a day, me being lethargic, me turning to alcohol, 3 or 4 beers a day, not watching what I eat, not exercising or anything like that. The backstory for me was I played on the professional tennis tour, and I was also a high performance coach for the United States. So that was prior to the children and everything like that. So I had been a world-class athlete, but with all the stress of just daily life, I was spinning out of control. So when your email came across, there were so many times that I'd started and stopping workouts. There was always an excuse of why not go to the gym. I joined a gym in June, and from June until December last year, I used it 3 times. So it was really a blessing when your email came across, Kevin, to start this program.
Excellent, Derek. Thank you for the backstory, and delighted to hear your wife recover well, and
Thank you.
your,
Thank you.
your 6-year-old child doing well
Yes.
too.
Yeah.
So you joined the challenge in December / January,
Right.
and I mean, inside your head, what were your thoughts? Was it there's no way I'm going to fail. I'm doing this anyway, or did you have a reservation? What was it? What were you thinking back then?
Yeah, so I knew I had to do something. In February of 2017, so started the challenge in January of 2018, but in February of 2017, I went to the doctor and had my annual physical and blood work and everything like that. And at that point, in February of 2017, my cholesterol was off the charts. I was high risk for type 2 diabetes. I was high risk for a heart attack. I was high risk for a stroke. But the funny thing was that from February to January of 2018, I did nothing about it. So it was kind of an end all be all, like something's got to change. I'm going to try this. I don't want to do fad diets or whatever, but this could be a fad. I don't know, and appease my wife at the same time, her seeing me downward spiral and everything like that. And so it was just a collaborative effort. I'm going to do this for my kids. I'm going to do this for my wife. I'm going to do this for me, really. So we'll see. It's only 30 days. What have I got to lose? I mean, I've done nothing, so I might as well try something. Yeah.
So you had very strong whys, as I call them.
Absolutely.
Your reasons were very
Absolutely.
strong for doing it. Okay, great. So day one, you got a series of emails from me throughout the challenge. How helpful were they to you?
They were very helpful. Because I didn't really know. I mean, I thought maybe that, here in the States, the Nutrisystem is a big thing. I thought at some point you were going to recommend, hey, this is the meal plan and everything like that, which you now have. But when we started, you did not have a meal plan. But the emails were very helpful. Just download this, go to here, find your BMR, and just stick with it. So I really, really love that. It was like you're across the pond, just really helping and everything like that. So that makes it very, very easy.
And when you and I spoke before we did this interview, you told me you pretty much just did exactly what I said. Was there any deviance, or did you stick with it?
Well, like I said, as a professional athlete, I'm just a little bit competitive, and looking at your before and after and seeing your results, I'm like, I can waste so much time on the internet double checking and checking his facts and everything, but I'm like, just look at the pictures. I mean, he said he did this, got this in 8 months, and I'm like, shoot, 30 days, I think I can lose some weight. So yeah, I followed it absolutely to a T, everything that you said. The only difference was, now let me preface this, being in the States, looking for Skyr yogurt and stuff like that, your brown brands are totally different. So if there's any American viewers watching, I can translate the Irish brand to the States.
That'd be very helpful, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Okay, so the first 30 days, when did you start to realize during the process that, hey, this might actually be working?
It's funny because, you kept leading up to January 1. My mind was made up that I'm going to do this. So I downloaded the MyFitnessPal and I started tracking, I think in like the second week of December. And I didn't want to change anything. And you had recommended that, first step is just start developing habits. So I just started tracking my meals. And again, I looked at my BMR and I'm like, holy cow. As I track my meals, before the challenge even started, I'm like, holy cow, I'm through 2 days worth of calories by lunch, and I'm like, so I don't eat for 48 hours because, oh man, this is going to be hard. So anyway, yeah.
It took some adjusting, and
it did.
How did you find weighing your food? Was that a problem, or just? I'm an all or nothing guy, and again, you said you got to get a food scale, you got to get a weight scale. I ordered it on Amazon and my wife is like, what are you doing? I'm like, honey, I'm just following instructions, I'm all in. And my kids just watching me, they're just like, Dad, there goes Dad, and he's weighing his food again, and my son's pushing down on the food and the food scale, and for a 7-year-old boy, a food scale it's better than Legos or Hot Wheels. So, yeah. So yeah. What did you in this 30-day process? What did you find the most enjoyable part of it, if any, if there was anything enjoyable?
Well, what was crazy is my wife has always eaten healthy, and me, bringing home the bacon per se, as far as the income goes, I'm shopping with her and I'm looking at the generic can brand and I'm looking at the all organic, and she's leaning towards the organic, and I'm like, I can buy 6 for year 1, so from an economy standpoint, I just thought she was crazy. But then when I made the commitment and actually started eating healthy, and what's so amazing is, there should be some kind of regulation in the United States for how calories are measured, because I never knew. I can take 4 cans and see the the calorie value, but it's all different serving sizes. There's no regulation that everything should be a cup. And I had no clue that, this is 50 calories, but you only get to eat a teaspoon, and this is 80 calories and you get to eat a cup. So I'd never even thought about that. But yeah, so started eating healthy, and in the first 2 weeks, and stopped drinking 3 to 4 beers a night, and in the first 2 weeks, I'm losing weight. I'm like, you got to be kidding me! I'm like, I'm losing a lot of weight, and I believe I even reached out to you, and then you it came up in the group that, in the very beginning, you are going to lose a lot of water weight and stuff like that. But I was like, this is insane. I'm 2 weeks in and I've lost like 7, 8 pounds. I'm like, this is going to be easy. So, yeah.
Okay, we're back after just a short break. So, Derek, what have you found the most difficult during the first 30 days of the challenge?
Yeah, so I would say the most difficult is just finding the foods. Once you establish your macros, and I followed Kevin's macros: 40% protein, 35% carbs, 25% fats. Just finding the foods that equate to breakfast, lunch, dinner, and snacks throughout the entire day. So that was a challenge for me because, again, like I said, I did not have the plan. Was not available when I started, which I would highly recommend anybody get that. And then just sticking with it. When you're at family events or business events or vacation or travel or whatever, just stick with eating healthy. So.
I mean, you're a lot taller than me. You're 6'3", and your
Yes.
BMR number is about 500 calories more than mine. So 500 calories, it's basically an extra meal more than me a day typically. So it's important to stick with your BMR numbers. Obviously being taller, your body needs more energy than mine does. But in saying that, how hard or how easy did you find it to actually stick to that number? Did you find it going over often, or?
No, I honestly, I never went over. Again, I was sticking to exactly what you said, and working out like crazy, but I never added those calories back in that I burned, because how do you track those? I use a Fitbit, but I agree. Is that really blessed by the medical profession?
Yeah, I think the same.
Yeah.
So from when you started to where you are now, I mean, we're 3 months after the 30 days since you started. So what can people expect after the first 30 days, and then what can they expect 2 months after they finish if they stick with it? Because you are there now. I've seen your after pictures now, and they're phenomenal.
Yes. Thank you. Yeah. So I think total after the first 30 days, I think I was like at right around 15 to 16 pounds that I lost in the first 30 days. After that, from start to finish, so from January 1st until today is 100. I'm sorry. From the 26th of April. What is that? I think that's like 111 days. So from January to today, I've lost 22 pounds, which equates to 0.18 pounds per day, or 1.32 pounds lost per week. And my schedule is really, I'm trying to lose weight and add muscle at the same time. A lot of people said, drop the weight, get to where you want, and then go ahead and build. But I've kind of come up with a combination just from the food and from protein and stuff like that, where I'm able to drop and actually build muscle. So I think if I just went on the weight loss program, I could have dropped easily 30 pounds by now instead of the 22.
So I mean, the photos I saw of you recently, your abs were starting to show. Are you gonna? Is that something you want to keep going with to fully develop?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, no pun intended.
That's brilliant. So what I mean, this must have knock-on effect with your family at home. What do they think of all of this?
I mean, people can't believe it. I see people at work, see people in church, see people around. They're like, what's going on? You're losing weight. I mean, they take notice, and it's not. I live in the South, where everybody's really proper and polite. So I've not got the negative effects of, man, you're losing too much weight or anything like that. But people definitely do notice, and it's just a confidence builder for me. I mean, before I'm wearing double X and triple XL shirts to hide my fuel tank. I like beer, so I was hiding my foster child. But anyway, so it's been life changing. It really has.
Brilliant. And do you find that your children at home are looking at the way they eat differently? Do you think they might have a knock-on effect for what their relationship might be with food?
Oh, absolutely. My children love candy, but I heard my son say to the 6-year-old, to Elle, "No, Elle, we can't have that because Daddy wouldn't eat it." And so after he's doing that, and then I also hear he and Elle in their room, my 7 and 6-year-old boy, "Elle, I can do 11 push-ups. Watch, just like Dad." And it's not look at Dad sit on the couch with a beer and Doritos, but so it's just it's been life changing. It really has.
So, how are you finding work? What's your gym routine now? How many days a week are you going? How long do you spend there? Give us some
Yeah.
insight.
So I go to the gym Mondays, Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays, where it's just all I'm doing is lifting. On Wednesdays and Saturdays are my cardio days, where I'll do about an hour of cardio, do 5-mile runs and stuff like that. But heavy lifting, 12 to 15 reps, building in 3 sets with a 30-second break between reps, just to keep my heart rate up. So I'm in the gym 6 days a week, and it's never going to change. It's just a way of life now, which is great.
That's ultimately the goal with this. It's to become a way of life, to eat good and move, get the exercise, be active. And it's an amazing feeling that you're not relying on motivation anymore. It's just what you do. It's the gym bag is ready, away you go. It's there's no motivation in order to get go, which you do need the motivation at the start for sure. But once the 30 days are done, it's more a case of habit takes over.
Yeah. And what was crazy for me too also is the Facebook group. So as an internet marketer, I had a Facebook account, but I never used it. And then I see this 30-day challenges on Facebook, and I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. I've got to get on Facebook. So I get on Facebook, and now I'm not addicted to anything on Facebook other than the 30-day challenge. So I've been addicted to working out, eating healthy in the 30-day group, because the support there is unbelievable. And you're seeing people getting results left and right. And the camaraderie, the community, and just the care and the love that everybody has for a common goal. And it's not about, it's about all of us just going through it, and you're going to get results. You stick with it, and you stick with it to a T. Don't change anything. Stick with something for 30 days. And if it doesn't work, what have you lost? 30 days of your life. Well, you're not changing now. So something's got to change. So try it. I mean, it works.
And on that note, what advice would you give to someone that's looking at this video and they're thinking about starting, and they think, oh, maybe I'm too big, maybe this will never work for me? What would you say to that person?
I assure you that you have more reasons why not to do it than to do it. If you just define your why, look at yourself in the mirror, and if you're happy with what you see, then hey, this challenge might not be for you. But if you're not happy with what you see, this can be life-changing. There's people in this group that have been in the exact same situation that you are, the same thoughts, the same embarrassment, the same guilt, and they're there to help, and they're doing it. So why not do it with somebody than try and do it by yourself? Because by yourself got you in the stage that you're at.
Excellent. Well, Derek, you kind of hit every point I wanted to ask you, really. I guess one final thing, health-wise, I know in February of 2017 you didn't have a very positive result with your blood work. How's things now?
Yeah, so follow-up visit to the doctor in March of 2018. I have absolutely normal blood pressure. The doctor couldn't believe my turnaround. And, the doctor's thinking I did this over the span of a year. And basically I said, I started in January, had a commitment. So really, Doc, these results are just from January to March. And he's like, you have got to be kidding me. So, and even accused me of being a vegan, which I know you are.
I'm vegetarian.
I love steak.
Vegetarian.
I got you. I got you. That's how much I know about,
All right. Well, listen, Derek, thank you very much for your time. I really enjoyed hearing your story and seeing your transformation, particularly over the first 30 days. But now, still 3 months on, you look tremendous. Well done, and long may it continue.
I couldn't have done it without you and the group, Kevin. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Derek. Bye-bye.
Thanks. Bye.